Hey everybody, my name is Jeremy Robinson, and what I'm going to talk to you all about today is one of my personal favorite topics, snowboarding. Woo! I'll be discussing some important key factors and things you're probably going to want to know before you go out and tear it up on the slopes. And I'll take you further into what you may encounter and what to expect. So let's get right into it. Okay, so the main tool of snowboarding is what? That's right, your snowboard. Good job. When selecting a board, you'll ask yourself, how do I know what board to pick, right? Well, I'll tell you. Grab a board, and while standing, if the board touches your chin, congratulations, you found the perfect size. Once you have your board selected, you're probably going to want to get yourself a pair of snowboarding boots. Take your shoe size and go 2 sizes up. So if you wear a size 10, let's see here, carry a 2, subtract the 4, get yourself a size 12. Pretty impressive math skills, right? And please, please don't try to just wear any kind of boots. If you do, you will probably break your ankle. Some other accessories you might want to take into consideration are snow pants and snow jacket, gloves, hat, snow socks, bandana, and goggles. Where did I put those? Oh yeah. I highly recommend you at least have these basic items. If you don't, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, now we're ready. The first thing you're going to want to do is make proper adjustments to your bindings. They're right here. They usually have workbenches like around parks to make these changes and a toolkit. Everyone's placement is different, so you'll need to take a couple of trial runs and find out what works best for you. Now once you get to the chairlift, you'll need to unstrap your left binding and wait for the chair to come scoop you up, literally. When you get to the unloading area at the top, you'll need to prepare yourself for getting off. This takes some time getting used to. By the way, you are going to fall the first couple times, but don't worry, because it happens to everyone. Here you go. Strap in and stand up. As a beginner, the first and most important thing you need to learn is how to stop. And how do we do this? By falling a lot and picking yourself right back up. That's probably the best advice I can give you. I am self-taught, and it took me a good 2 hours to get this down before I had it under control. Everyone learns at a different pace, so don't stress out too much if you don't master this right off the bat. It's important to map out your terrain and be sure to look at the grading of the different slopes. These are labeled with different colored shapes: a green circle, blue square, black diamond, and a double black diamond you'll mostly find. These are graded on the degree of the slope. Green is usually 10 degrees, and the slope will increase by 10 as you advance. So the first time I went snowboarding, I got to the top of a mountain, and as soon as the fog began to clear, I noticed a strange sign with 2 black diamonds on it. I was like, I wonder what this means. As I was getting closer to the sign, it began to read, warning, for experts only, possibility of serious injury or death. Yeah, let's just say it didn't end very well. This is why it's important to be aware of your surroundings at all times. Once you start to feel comfortable enough with yourself and you can go down without falling on numerous occasions, it may be time to move on to a jump. This can be a scary feeling for the first time, just like everything else is. When you are up in the air, you'll get a sinking feeling in your chest. It's kind of an eerie sensation. Don't worry though, this is quite normal, and it does take time getting used to. Going on rails and tubing is another story. It's important to maintain a good sense of balance. After a couple of tries, you'll get the hang of it eventually. This looks really sick when it's done right too. When you become familiar with this, try and mix in some tricks as well. Skateboarders seem to have an easier time with this. The first time I ever went on plastic tubing, the front of my board snagged one of the ribs, and I came down on my knees and rode it all the way down to the end. It was probably the most painful experience. All I could do was lay there, and I had other snowboarders behind me, like jumping over my body, trying to like not come down on me. The thing is, like, you're just gonna expect to get hurt once in a while, but don't let that stop you. If you do acquire an injury, the key thing to do is not panic. People are usually very good about coming to your aid, so don't worry. If you do get hurt, there are workers on the mountain who ride snowmobiles, and they will bring you back down to the bottom depending on the severity of your injuries. They may be bringing medics up to you. Most of the time, injuries occur because boarders push themselves to the limit way too hard and don't take enough breaks. After about a good 2 hours of snowboarding, your body begins to get worn out real easily. Once you start to notice this, stop and go back to the cabin to get something to eat or drink and just relax to build your momentum back up. This will help keep you at your best performance. Another thing that's important besides learning how to stop is move around while your snowboard is attached to you. Ironic enough, I learned this from playing a snowboarding video game, Shaun White snowboarding. It's almost like you're waddling back and forth like a penguin, and this saves time from constantly strapping your bindings on and off. If you're finding that you're still having a hard time, you may want to try a different stance out. The two stances are regular and goofy foot. Eventually, you'll learn to switch from one to the other, but for now, you'll just want to find your primary stance. When I went boarding with one of my buddies, I discovered he was having this problem, and I realized that he was goofy foot. If your board starts to feel like it's dragging a lot and you're not able to build up enough speed, you may want to purchase some wax and use an old iron to melt the wax onto your board and distribute the wax evenly over the board. Give the wax some time to dry, and you should be set. Please don't use your mom's good iron. She will not be happy with you or me. Another thing to look for in your surroundings are trees. Most of you are probably like, wow, you must have to be pretty stupid to run into a tree. But the truth is, this happens a lot, and it's not on purpose. I hear about so many people getting killed running into trees. Primarily, this is caused by people trying to avoid hitting other boarders or skiers, or losing control when they're coming off of a jump. I can't stress enough to look around you and be safe. Snowboarding is a very expensive sport, and majority of people have to travel long distances to get to their destination. Not to mention, ticket prices are extremely expensive. That can cost up to $100 to go just for one day. I would recommend that anyone interested get rental equipment or borrow from a friend you know, and try it before you go putting a bunch of money into a sport you might only try once. Snowboarding is definitely an intense adrenaline rush sport that's dangerous but a lot of fun. And I would highly recommend that everyone try it at least once in their lifetime. Well, that's it. I hope you all enjoyed my presentation, and I hope to see you out on the mountain. Thanks for watching.